Patrick, you dead, mate?
Yes.
Hello.
And welcome. We've got microphones now.
Yeah,
Look at that.
we got microphones.
Look at
The audio
that.
was pretty terrible, and today, especially of all days,
We need it.
we've got stuff to talk about.
Serious stuff.
First thing we want to say, is we're very sad to hear that someone has died from vaping.
Possibly from vaping. Possibly.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not completely sold. But I do agree you cannot rule it out.
I'll probably rule it out.
No, yeah, probably would.
I'd say conventional e-cigarettes, I could rule them out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'd say this is a relatively new thing that's happened.
Yeah. There's a lot of it going about.
I mean, 12 years. 12 years they've been
12 years.
studying it. And
I remember years ago, I must have been, what was that, 12 years ago, I was 11. It's probably around 13 or 14, and then this morning was on TV, English TV show.
right.
And there was a man on there promoting e-cigarettes.
Japanese man? Chinese man?
No, he was the local this morning Dr. Phil, whatever the fuck he is. Literally, you know the
Send him to the ranch. Sorry, carry on.
the original, just little
Little puff boys.
yeah, screw the cartridge out. He was promoting them. It was literally vaping them on this morning. So from all those years ago, there has actually been all that backing for harm reduction.
We're here to lay out the facts that we know so far. Based on the facts that we know so far, personally, I think this is not a vaping issue per se. I think it's a vaping unauthorized,
unregulated
substances
for sale.
on
Used.
Yeah, not for sale in proper places.
No, you know when you put down a pub and your old mate's like, "Oh, check this cunt out! Look at that fucking crack pipe in his jacket," that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. So we've done our research, which was thorough. I think thorough enough. I should say.
We covered a lot.
We've covered some things. First of all, I'd like to say, 2016. How many deaths were there from smoking?
Well, there wasn't one.
Wasn't
And
two.
there wasn't two.
This isn't funny, but
There was 78,000 deaths in the UK.
that's fucking crazy.
Just in the UK, caused by smoking. And that was in 2016. Obviously, the adult smoking rate is reducing on a massive level constantly because people are switching to vaping. But so that was 3 years ago. So you're probably still quite high up there on those numbers in this year and like last year. But that's 78,000 a year in the UK. And what we're looking at now is one death potentially caused by vaping in the 12 years it's been about.
Also, one thing we did discover today, actually, whilst reading, I read a newspaper for the first time. No, I'm joking. Not for the first time. But I don't usually buy a newspaper, but actively I went out and bought a newspaper today. And
Shook.
yeah, he asked me several times why I had a newspaper. Checking out an old Boris, didn't I? We read that smoking is down a quarter. Since, I think it was last year, it's down a quarter. That's crazy. That's crazy good. Like, I consider it good. Like, 78,000 people died in 2016, and a quarter of that's been etched away.
Yeah.
And people might say, "Oh, it's because they've changed the packaging, they've made it less appealing," and they're not going to say it's vaping, but we all know it's vaping.
I think the packaging change and the behind the shutters thing has reduced the amount of people taking up the habit.
Possibly.
But as a smoker, when the packets were changed, I can guarantee you the packets had no influence on whether or not I wanted to light a cigarette.
No, true. If anything, I wouldn't say it's amusing, but you'd be able to tell whose packets is who.
There was memes, jokes. I remember once I got a hold of Australian tobacco when I was 18, so they had all the packaging before the UK did. and it had a toilet on it because it was to do with urine or testicular cancer. And I just went, hey, look, with this pouch, I get a free toilet, and then just persisted to smoke it all. So the packaging, I would say, has no influence whatsoever. And
I remember, which one's yours? Oh, mine's one with the burning fanny.
yeah. The
That
kids with
was-
the hole in the throat, it's mine.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Dying man in the bed. That one's my
I
one.
think there are some people that just can't get on with vaping, and they do use like nicotine gum or patches or stuff like that. And I do, in my lifetime, I've met about 2 people that just go willpower alone and just cut.
Fair if you can do that, but not everyone can do that, which is why vaping is a good thing.
I don't believe we'd see the numbers we're seeing if it wasn't for vaping as it is today.
Right. Now we've kissed vaping's arsehole. You know, if you're watching this, you probably, vaping's worked for you if you're watching this, I'd imagine. So now we'll get on to the facts that we know about this case.
They are investigating 22 cases in Illinois.
Right.
All the cases are ranging from 17 to 38. So technically 17 for a start shouldn't be able to purchase
that's
vape
true.
in any American state or an English country because we're 18 and most of them are 21.
So that's a problem straight
That's
away.
an issue for the start.
But what I consider it worse, maybe not in the US because it's legal in some states, but in Illinois, vaping cannabinoids, cannabis oils, I don't think is legal. I don't think that's a legal thing, and I think that's what's led to this. I think a lot of people
Reading up on the research we've done, cannabinoids and THC has popped up a lot, and specifically THC cartridges. Now, in
pre-filled
England,
cartridges.
THC entirely illegal in vape. CBD's a bit of a grey area at the moment, and we still don't know actually where that's going to go. In the UK, there was talks about pulling all CBD products, in, not just vaping, but like there's a shop down the road from us that sells CBD bath bombs. But even talking about shit like that, completely pulled from the shelves, investigated for at least 18 months before it's put back on. So we still don't really know where CBD is going to go. But they are the main factors in all of these cases: is THC cartridges, THC, and cannabinoids. If you're buying an illegal THC cartridge, it's like buying. So if you go out and buy cocaine, it's cut with so many different things, and you don't know what's in there. So it's the same.
Yeah, we're not
premise.
blaming cannabis. We're not blaming cannabis as a thing. We're blaming. We're blaming the people that, because it's not legal in that state, people are buying it from people on the black market or wherever it is illegally that haven't made it in the correct way.
Or same with most other drugs, they've mixed something in it to make it go further. So although they may have followed the process of getting THC into a vape liquid to a T, they then put other liquids or chemicals in to bulk it out, to fill more cartridges, to sell more cartridges.
But this is where it gets rather annoying, because yes, they were vaped, but straight away the vaping industry has been tarnished with the brush of this is vaping that's done this.
Yeah.
Even though it's not it's not conventional traditional vaping in the slightest. Like it's a relatively new thing.
And generally, it is most vapors would not go towards that. Even people I know that have smoked weed for years and years and years and moved on to vape have not worried about getting their THC from the vape. There are flavors available that taste like cannabis, and they tend to go for that with just a bit of nicotine in there, and not worry about getting that THC and getting that buzz and getting that high. So
it's one of them. But the reason we wanted to do this video, I'm sure a lot of people have done this video. I've seen a few. It's just that we wanted to kind of support our. This is a community at the end of the day, I think.
Big family.
Big old vape nation, bruh.
We're so limited as an industry and a community over to where we can post and what we can do, what we can say, as to try and get our point across. So the more people that actually make videos like this and share it out there and get it noticed and put links where they can.
Because every mainstream media has just said vaping has killed someone. They haven't they mention if you read the article, they mention THC and they mention cannabis
the
oils.
moment someone sees the headline,
Yeah.
man died from vaping.
I've seen tons of people. I knew it. I knew vaping.
We had one in the shop today. We were working, and we had while serving someone, the person's girlfriend, I think, was like, "You seen in the news, someone's died." So obviously we educate them to the best we can. We could find out in 20 years' time that vaping does cause you to have a mouldy little toe.
Anyway, right. We wanted to have this little talk. I feel like we've kind of touched on it, and we'll probably do a follow-up video when we find out what the actual...
Yeah, the more that is uncovered, the more we will discuss.
Yeah.
As we said, it's very limited. It's the equivalent of someone crashing a car and BMW getting attacked.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you know what I mean? So if Reese went out and drove his car and crashed because he was driving ridiculously and illegally, but then they blame the brand of car. It's the same that's happened here. Is someone's vaping, but vaping illegally, but because they're vaping, we get bad
it's like me buying a BMW, putting NOS in there and putting budget or shit tyres on there, like reclaimed tyres on there, crashing, and then saying, oh, it's BMW's fault. I did the altercations to the vehicle, therefore it's my problem, my fault. And obviously, when you're talking about death, it's a bit of a touchy subject. And again, I say this is might joke around a little bit. It's not funny in the slightest, but
statistically,
we're up.
We ain't doing too bad.
We're up.
In all honesty.
Yeah.
Still horrendous for the man's family and all of that. But if you're gonna buy something illegal from the man down the pub, at least expect the worst.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Don't stop vaping. Or I mean, you can stop vaping as long as you stop everything.
Just vape safe.
Yeah,
vape safe. Go to your local store, or if it's an online shop, make sure they're trustworthy. Whatever you get sent, make sure it's got authenticity on it, and you can go onto that brand's website and check it. Just don't buy from Dave down the pub.
And don't buy cigarettes, because you don't want to be one of those 78,000. With that being said, we've had a little chat. We'll see you in the next review. Ta-da!